Hello again and welcome to AirgunWeb.com. My name is Rick Utzler and I'm glad that you can join us again today. Today we're going to take a look at a fairly high-end airgun. This is the RWS 52 Striker Combo from Pyramid Air. The rifle is a side lever gun, which means that it has a fixed barrel and should give us some very good accuracy. What makes this a neat combo is that Pyramid Air has gone ahead and mounted the scope and provided a hard shell case, along with a very special mount that eliminates some problems unique to the RWS rifle line. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gun.
From the moment you take the RWS 52 Striker Combo out of the case, you're going to realize one thing, and that's quality. The difference between this rifle and, say, the Chinese imports that these other companies are bringing in is really significant. The stock is gorgeous, the bluing is even, the machining is very clean and detailed. You can tell that there's a lot of quality control that goes into these RWS rifles. As far as the outside looking at the gun, it is a really nice gun. I have very little experience, frankly, with the side lever type rifles. The only other one I've played with are some BAM B30s or B31s, I think they're called, and maybe a couple of their other really lower end stuff. This is obviously in a completely different class. I know the B31 is supposed to be a copy of this, and it certainly does not even come close to the RWS 52. While other Magnum Springers seem to have big, bulky, heavy stocks, the stock on the RWS 52 is just the opposite. It's actually lighter than I expected, and the grip is thinner than I expected. It's actually very easy to handle. Even with someone with smaller hands, they should not have a problem shooting this gun. What makes this combo unique is that Pyramid has included a special scope mount. This prevents scope slippage, and it also prevents the need of a scope stop because the mount itself is the stop. This was a unique design, I believe, from Pyramid Air, and it has solved a lot of problems with some of these RWS rifles. And not being able to keep scopes on them. The recoil is pretty significant, so you need something to really hold that scope still. The trigger, I believe, is plastic. I wish they had gone with a metal trigger. I have not tried to adjust this trigger because it's actually pretty adequate the way it sits. I always like a little bit lighter trigger, but this one's pretty good. Here are your standard sights on this rifle. They're micro-click adjustable. They're not fiber optic, but this gun is really meant to be scoped anyway. Here's the front sight. It's a simple post sight, but it is adjustable. This gun is highly adjustable, and it's just really nice all the way around.
Since this is a completely new type of rifle for us, I thought it would make a lot of sense to go ahead and show me shooting the rifle. We'll also go ahead and capture some velocities while we're in the mix. I found the best pellet to be these beam and field target specials. They continue to actually perform very well in 22. My absolute favorite out of this line is the beam and field target trophies, but you just can't find them anymore. Let's go ahead and send some downrange. The side lever on this gun gives you a lot of leverage, so they're able to really maximize the power of the rifle by using a very powerful spring. That shot, and these are fairly heavy pellets, was at 796 feet per second. This gun has an anti-bear trap mechanism, so that once this is open, there's gears in here that prevent it from shutting. You have to push this lever before you can return the lever over here so you can get ready to shoot. The safety is an automatic safety, and you do have to push it in before every shot. Some people like that. I particularly don't, but that's okay. Shooting a spring gun takes an awful lot of practice. The unique recoil you get with the spring, you have an initial reaction rearward, and then when it stops, it's forward, and all in the midst, it's twisting. Shooting a spring gun can be quite a challenge. well, I got this on camera, occasionally this particular rifle won't cock all the way. I don't know what the problem is, but this is how I've been able to fix it. I certainly wouldn't recommend this, and it's definitely something I'm going to have to talk to both Pyramid Air and probably RWS about. But what happens, for some reason, it's catching down here. So I have to pull the trigger. No, this time it's not working. There we go. Something that's catching in there. Alright, now it's finally caught on the sear. There's something inside the gun that's not working quite right. I guess, you know, safety first in everything you do. You really need to pay attention to what you're doing, because the last thing you need is for that handle or something to come loose and slam back onto your fingers, or worse yet, break loose and catch you when you're trying to load a pellet. I think as long as you leave that anti-bear trap gear, you leave those gears up, I don't think it can come back on you. But the fact that sometimes it doesn't want to cock is an issue. Okay, so you have a basic idea of how to work the gun. We're going to go ahead and flip this thing around and put the camera up by the target. I'll go ahead and shoot another group and you can see how this gun hits. Consistency is everything with a spring gun. It's obvious from that shot group that this gun can certainly put the pellets right on target. The fact that we basically made 2 holes with 5 pellets tells me that there was something in my hold or in my trigger pull that caused that point of impact to shift just slightly. We're still looking at a group that's less the size of a dime. We're talking 20 yards at close to 800 feet per second. This is a great shooting rifle. Let's go ahead and run some RWS hobby pellets through the gun and see what we can get for velocity. So let's take a look at the difference between the Beam and Field Target Specials and the RWS hobby pellets. The Specials shot a group, I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but they shot a group that is right around 3/8 of an inch center to center, if that. That was a great group. They shot around 800 feet per second on the high side. As far as the RWS hobbies, they shot much faster. The group center to center is probably close to 1.25 inches. Just because a gun is shooting faster does not mean it's shooting better. Oftentimes you're going to find that there's a balance between pellet weight and velocity that's going to make the gun be the most accurate and actually be able to deliver its power on target. There's a lot of fuss in the airgun world today trying to go faster and faster and faster, and with all that speed they're actually forgetting about accuracy. We have some guns around here that will shoot 1,000 foot per second in a 22 pellet. However, they don't group, so you have to shoot a really heavy pellet to get the velocity down, and then they start to group. So realize that just because it's going faster doesn't mean better. Well, that wraps up this look at the RWS 52 Striker combo from Pyramid Air. All in all, I actually like the gun quite a bit. It's lighter than I expected. It's very accurate, and I'm very pleased with the power that it produces. My name is Rick Utzler with AirgunWeb.com. Thanks again, and we hope to see you again soon.